Hai, welcome to Kremés podcast.
Podcast yang paling receh and garing, but maybe informative too, depending on the day.
I'm T.
And I'm A,
Semoga podcast ini bisa nemenin lo.
and hope you enjoy the episode. Hello guys, welcome back to Kremés podcast. Hari ini kita mau, nggak tahu ya, ini sedikit curhat atau real talk, atau cuma berbagi aja. Karena kita tuh kemarin sempet banget ngomongin tentang episode pertama kita itu tentang slang ya, antara bedanya komunikasi di Indo sama di Perth atau di Australia. Tapi juga kita juga kepikiran karena kita sekarang udah grow up di Australia udah lumayan lama ya nggak sih, kayak 10 tahun lebih ya nggak. So sometimes I wonder, karena kita aja sekarang ngomong aja tuh udah kayak pabalit gitu loh, kayak sedikit ngomong Indo campur Inggris, gak pernah fully Indonesian or fully English. Jadi I was just wondering, what do you dream in? Karena kayak kita kan, maksudnya waktu itu gue pernah nonton kayak YouTuber gitu kan dari Korea. Kalian mungkin juga pernah dengar Korean Englishman atau Jungkook Namja. Terus mereka tuh kayak cerita kan, mereka tuh berbagai bahasa, mereka Inggris sama Korean. Terus mereka tuh nanya, what language do you count in? What language do you talk to yourself in? Sama bahasa apa kamu bermimpi? Jadi what language do you dream in? Kalau lu gimana Teh? So let's start from the beginning dah I guess. What language do you count in? Kayak lu ngitung, kalau lagi ngitung duit, ngitung barang gitu-gitu, lu ngitungnya gimana?
I must admit, it's in Indo. Like, kalau gimana ya? Like, it's so interesting that you brought this up because it's so gimana ya? Like, it's different in different contexts. Tapi kayaknya for me, kalau kayak asal berasal dan kayak perlu hitungan super express gitu, gue seringnya sih surprisingly pakai Indo, which is I'm surprised because like as maybe our listeners may have heard, like I would say my Indo compared to yours A is probably not as canggih or not as fluent anymore. I guess I lack certain vocabulary. Like I do have this limitation. I can't just conjure certain words that I'm thinking of in English in Indo, but at the same time it happens the other way around as well. Tapi banyak kan sih kalau hitung kayak duit segala itu, gue kayak langsung tuh wagapat gitu, langsung pakai Indo. But when it comes to like, cause you know in my studies, when it comes to things like maths and more like serious number crunching, it's usually English, which is interesting. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. Kalau gue, I count from 1 to 20 bisa pakai Inggris. Tapi di atas itu gue Indo. Jadi kayak soalnya kan gini geng, sekarang kalau misalnya ini little bit about us aja ya. Kan kayak kalau gue kan tutoring kan. Jadi gue ngajarin anak-anak gitu, kayak kita di sini kita boleh ngelesin anak gitu untuk kayak belajar matematika and stuff like that gitu. Jadi kadang kalau misalnya gue lagi ngejelasin tuh suka pabalit juga, soalnya kayak I will count in my head from 1 to 20 pakai English gitu loh. Jadi kayak gue bakal kayak 5 plus 4, 9 gitu-gitu. Tapi kalau udah kayak 25 pas tambah 37 gitu tuh langsung kayak 62. Tapi itu bukan nggak bahasa Inggris gitu, jadi kayak gue harus translate lagi gitu loh. So I have to write it down, and then they see what I write down instead of what I hear.
Yeah.
Cuma ya jadi kayak kalau udah ngitung duit, ngitung apa semua tuh pasti Indonesian, which is really weird. Yeah, that's really interesting actually.
Like I can totally relate with that in what you're saying, because certain, I guess also majority of numbers, mungkin karena kayak I notice as well kalau gue ngomong pakai bahasa Indo, I tend to speak faster. And then so walaupun kata nomornya, if you spell it out dalam Inggris kayak dalam bahasa kayak mungkin yang dalam bahasa Indo lebih panjang ya secara huruf daripada bahasa Inggris, but for some reason I have this connotation in my mind that I can say the number a lot faster in Indonesian. Also is like 62 atau 62. I mean, like, it makes sense, right? Whereas like in English, like 62 versus 62 is not as common as in Indo, as you would say 62. So like I just find it a lot faster to just like, you know, rapid fire the numbers in that way. But I think like, you know, moving I guess away slightly from numbers, I'm just curious, like, even if you guys like, you know, think in your head, like, you know, mikir atau kayak ngomong dalam hati, or just thinking out loud, or just, you know, thinking thoughts in your head, like, what is the go-to language that you would use?
Oh, this is a bit hard. I think oh dan mungkin itu obrolan abis ini ya. Gue juga pengen nanya, ada satu lagi yang gue pengen nanya. Sorry ya gengs, ini tuh bener-bener kayak gue sama Teh tuh like we were talking about this and we were so curious about like what we do. Jadi mungkin kalian ngedengernya kayak wah ini bener-bener kayak mereka they just asking each other, which we actually do. We just ask each other. Jadi kalian kalau misalnya kalian punya beda atau kalau misalnya kalian oh gue tuh ngedenger kayak gini, please komen ya, please kayak let us know, karena kita tuh beneran curious banget soalnya I ask this to my sisters as well. Tapi kalau gue I will talk to myself in English. I will talk to myself in English. I think in my head I will think in English. Tapi but when I have to explain myself, nah ini ada dua nih, Teh. It's for some reason kalau gue explain kayak pengalaman gue gitu, misalnya kayak like apa yang terjadi in the day gitu kan, kayak misalnya kayak oh gila ya hari ini gue tuh ketemu orang gini, itu Indo, like literally I would just like rant to my sister in Indonesian.
Yeah.
Tapi kalau misalnya lagi ngomongin hal serius sama orang tua gue atau orang lain gitu, I suddenly change into English. Jadi kayak kalau misalnya gue lagi mau ngomongin tentang politics atau ngomongin tentang peraturan di Australia atau gimana gitu, atau nggak lagi mau ngejelasin apa gitu tentang parking or even like direction gitu, gue ngomongnya pakai Inggris loh. Jadi kayak keluarnya tuh Inggris.
Yeah.
Like I will try to explain it in Indonesian, tapi kayak I will hit a block and then that's it. I'm gonna start speaking Indonesian.
Yeah.
But then it technically still about your feelings kan, kayak kan what is your view, your opinion gitu. Tapi kalau opinion lebih ke English, but then if it's feelings Indonesian. Kalau lu gimana Teh?
I think I'm the same with you. Like gimana ya, kayak for the curhatan that we like, literally like how we do it with curhatan, banyakan gue pikirannya pakai bahasa Indo karena for some reason even though I do have the level of vocab in English, I tend to associate curhat atau kayak kata-kata hatian atau kayak you know like a more deep and meaningful feelingsy kind of words or expressions, I would use Indo, which I don't know why, but maybe it's because like you know I was born in that environment. You know, like from a very young age, like since I was a baby, I was surrounded by like, you know, relatives who would like, you know, like I guess a bit more like caring and holistic experience. Like obviously because you're a baby, right? Like everyone takes care of you, your loved ones are always around you, and that was me when I was in Indo. Whereas when I moved to Australia, I was only like, you know, 7-8 years old, but I've already started sort of growing up a little. And like kind of becoming a little bit more independent. So I think I associate my innermost thoughts and my feelings with like, I guess, back home in quotation marks, tanda kutip, because for me, there is still a part of me that back home means Indo. But yeah, no, I think like it's so interesting because like I could just be driving and like if I see like a reckless driver, and like, you know, if I'm alone, then I would say it out loud. But if I'm not alone in the car, I would usually like make some kind of like harsh remark about how crazy that person is driving. And that's usually in Indo. Kayak, wah, you know, orang gila nih, ngapain ini, you know, in that kind of thing. Or like, you know, but like I would never do it in English. Like I think there's, I know, which is really interesting. I think it's a strange way to explore and to understand how it influences us, like the people who surround us. So like for me, my dad is obviously like he studied in Indo, but then he went to the States for uni and stuff. So he has a bit of like a logat kayak Amrik gitu when he speaks English, but it's still Indo. So to be honest, like I talk like this but at home, we actually talk with a more American English accent, which is really interesting. And then the moment we speak with people out in public in Australia, like I just automatically, me and my sisters put on this Australian accent. And then when we talk to Indonesians, langsung kayak logat Indonya keluar gitu. But the flip side is my mum spent a bit of time in Singapore. So when she gets like a little sort of angry, a little cranky, her Singlish comes out. And I must say, like, when I get road rage, the little Singaporean old woman, the little Singaporean auntie in me comes out as well. And it's just so weird because it's something that I don't like sengaja alter my accent. It just subconsciously comes out. And I think it's like, I don't know about you, but like if you put me in a group like with an Australian, with a Singaporean, with an Indonesian, like depending on who I talk to, mendadak kayak my logat and the way I ngomong and my sentence structure, like apparently it would suddenly change. So I don't feel it, but according to people who watch me, it's like apparently an interesting thing to like listen and and watch me change and stuff. But yeah, no, that's for
Nah,
sure.
I definitely understand what you mean. Cause kayak karena like langsung aja gitu. Soalnya kayak misalnya gue juga even like I could take gimana ya? Like I would speak in English normally. Like and I think like if my friends in Indo say I have an Australian-ish accent, I think it's just because like I don't think Americans say like yeah nah, you know, like those ones, or like oh yeah we're just going to the Macca's, like they're not gonna say it that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then like we have a little bit of like instead of like the normal day.
Yeah.
Like we say it in a little bit more like way day, like it's a bit more flat, you know,
Yeah.
compared to the American accent or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really know like I never really learned American accent, but then like but then the moment I will talk to Indonesian and stuff like that, mine just changed directly to Indo. Like I don't even like sometimes legit like the person could be like raised here, right? Terus kayak dia kayak oh sorry I cannot speak Indonesian. I'm like oh yeah no it's fine. We're just gonna like it's okay. I'm just gonna talk to you in English. But then I could be like rock climbing with this person, and then I would literally say kanan itu kaki kanan aduh kanan naik, and they were like Amanda, I told you I can't speak Indonesian.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh sorry. In my head you're Indo, so I would like just burst out like in Indonesian. Like I could literally like give instruction to someone with the same like climb.
Yeah.
Like it's just one is English speaking and one is not.
Yeah.
And then I would literally just change it, like directly change it. Like I would give like direction in English and then direction in Indonesian. But then also yeah, I get what you mean by like driving and stuff like that, because I think for me I would speak in English just because I would just say like what the come on man kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then if it was with like my sisters and stuff, then I would speak in Indo.
Yeah.
Or like I was speaking for some reason I was speaking in like some Malaysian or Singaporean slang as well.
Yeah.
Like you know like do you think this is your grandmother's road? You know like those things, you know, like it just kind of come out, you know. But then I guess the last one, because this is basically like figuring out what is your main language, right? So it's just kind of like, because usually what language you think in or what language you count in, that's technically still your main language. Like what that means, that's your first language basically. Terus I guess the last one is kalau misalnya lo lagi dream, lagi mimpi, what language do you speak in or think in waktu lagi di dalam mimpi lo?
Yeah. I think it varies for me. Banyakan mimpian gua nggak ada kayak dialogue gitu, which is I don't know, like have you ever faced that? Like for some reason either that or like pas gue bangun gue lupa the dialogue. I just remember like visual scenes of it, because like I mean I remember that there's people around in my dream and like we did have a conversation of something, but I can't remember it. But I think banyakan it's in English. The conversations that I had are probably mainly in English, but then there's certain times when it gets very Indonesian, and I think it's when I have those dreams that are like kind of flashbacks and kayak ada scene yang beneran kayak from my childhood di Indo, atau kayak a certain spot that we visited back home with you know Indonesian relatives gitu, and no baru ada kayak mungkin ada ngobrolan pakai bahasa Indo gitu, and I think that's it. But aside from that, like yeah, how about you?
No. I think yeah, like for me it's kind of the same as well. Like I think I dream a lot in English. Tapi mungkin karena gimana ya? Karena kan usually your dream is about, kalau gue sih sometimes I can remember my dream really like vividly. Tapi juga at the same time it's because of what you're going through right now, like what your subconscious kind of like, you know, like talking about right now. And I just watched Inception yesterday. Jadi kayak gue beneran kayak full on about dream mode right now, you know. Jadi kayak I think it's because of that, karena day to day we speak English with our colleagues, with our friends and stuff like that. Terus juga karena nonton juga filmnya kan pasti English, sebelum tidur juga kayak nonton serialnya English, kind of thing. So then when I go to sleep, my dream is also in English. Jadi kayak throughout the stuff and like even when I yell out gitu loh, kayak misalnya mungkin di otak gue bisa lebih kayak man ke kanan, man jangan ke sini, man kayaknya nggak boleh ke situ gini. Tapi when it comes out, when I wanna scream and stuff like that, it's always in English. But then I think that's the difference with me. So then I don't know, so that really didn't answer our questions, like what is our main language?
It's really interesting that you shared that, especially towards the end. Kalau yang kayak marah gitu, I'm like the opposite, I guess. Malahan, again, with what I said earlier about like touchy-feely things, bayangkan kayak pakai Indo, mungkin karena gue suka nonton sinetron sih ya. Jadi kayak dramatisnya pakai dialog Indo semua gitu. Cause like when I feel that I need to like, you know, throw out angst or like, even if it's in English, there's like a whole dialogue is literally written out in my head in Indo, and I have to like process certain words in English to be like, you know, before I go like, you know, ngapain lo atau apa gitu, gimana sih gitu, ya gimana dong gitu kan. But it's like, you know, I would be in English and then it doesn't have the same effect to me, but maybe because I was just like a diehard sinetron watcher back then. And then also to the point of about like thinking in your head, because you know how like there's those iconic scenes in like Indonesian sinetron where like usually like the bitchy character is like you just sort of see their face and then there's like the inner monologue, you know, and it's like ngapain dia, you know, it's like kok si Siti kayak begitu sih, apa gitu kan. So it's like that's probably me in my head. But I guarantee you I'm not that conniving, or I'm not that lihai as if you know the slang of what lihai means.
Yeah, but girl, I don't know that you're into sinetron that much.
I don't think I was like
girl.
I didn't think that I would be into it, but I think like the moment you watch one episode and then like it ends, there's like the hook, and the hook is so good that you end up just watching over and over, and it's like dari nonton yang kayak from even like the more like, you know, the less savage, like more teenage focused ones, like Cinta Cina Cenut, abis itu Kepong-pong, and all those kinds of things, to more like really drama ones, and kayak tante-tante arisan gitu.
No, but legit, I think like we could talk all about like movies and stuff like that on like a whole new episode, karena emang bener banget sih kayak kemarin kan gue sempet kayak pengen nonton kayak nanti kita cerita tentang hari ini, kita nonton Imperfect, atau misalnya nonton kayak film-filmnya Raditya Dika. Like, man, the joke level in Indo is like so high. I love it so much. Sampai sekarang gue masih sih dengerin lagu-lagunya tuh lagu-lagu Indo gitu, lagu-lagunya Hindia. Kayak kemarin tuh well, this legit, this could be like a whole new episode. But yeah, even like things like it was like a love song. Terus kayak hidup itu memang sebuah pilihan, tapi hati itu bukan untuk dipilih. Like I was like, like in English you can't say that. Like it's not, you know, it's not as good as that is. But yeah, it's, I mean, girl, we're literally not answering our main question to start with. But hopefully kalian semua yang dengerin bisa ikutan teks ini juga, dan kayak maybe make this into something that you can think about, atau kalian renungin juga kalian kalau ngitung pakai bahasa apa. Kalau misalnya kalian lagi ngomongin hal-hal tentang feelings pakai bahasa apa, atau kalian lagi ngomongin hal-hal tentang politics atau gimana pakai bahasa apa, or even what you guys dream, like what language do you dream in. Karena jujur aja, even for my sister, right, kan dia misal kayak Inggris, Indonesian, and Korean, they actually count in Korean. Terus kayak mereka punya inner dialogue tuh in Korean. Jadi kalau misalnya ada barang jatuh, mereka ngomongnya aigo gitu loh. Kayak keren sih, cuman kayak wow banget gitu. Kayak pertama tuh gue sempet kayak kesel banget sama dede gue gitu. Gue yang kayak apa sih lo sok Korean banget gitu. Tapi setelah gue belajar, kerasa sih gitu loh. Kayak kalau misalnya lagi apa yang ada yang enak tuh gue kayak cinca masih so. Terus gue kayak why am I speaking in Korean gitu loh. Tapi yeah, legit, like it is what it is. Jadi Buat kalian semua yang lagi dengerin, try to do the test yourself and maybe you write it in the comment below, or I don't know, share with your friend, ask this question with your friends. Karena as you can see, me and T was just like, we just keep asking about this question and we're like wondering about it, and like this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a good chat. Like, it's meant to be open-ended, I think. Like, it's not meant to be like a yes or no or like a straight answer. But it's really insightful. So thanks for like initiating this discussion, because like it made me refleksi diri juga gitu ya. And also like for those guys kayak like your sister, kalau barang jatuh, your sister speaks in Korean. Kalau gue kayak copot gitu, like otomatis. So like all my bule friends would be like, what are you saying? But like to your point of your sister also knowing Korean, if you guys are like trilingual or even polylingual or whatever, like for me, I know a bit of French, so like there's certain aspects of me that say things in French. So let us know what other languages that you would like subconsciously or automatically just like, think in your head or dream or count or whatever when you do your daily activities. But yeah, thanks for the chat, eh?
No problem, but yeah, hope this little chat, I don't know, made you guys think a little bit more, or give something insightful, or just a random thing that, I don't know, accompany you to uni or work. But yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
Jangan lupa like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with your friends.
I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out with your comments, stories, and even questions on what we should talk about. See you in the next episode.
Bye. Dah.